All right, guys, this is Dan, and we're back with Coal Country Crawlers and RC. And last video I started on this build with the SCX 10 Gen 1, just because there wasn't a lot of videos out there in regards to the truck as far as up to date. Everybody's kind of kicked them to the curb and turned them into shelf queens and stuff. And I wanted to take one and see if we could make it a comparable modern crawler with the things that are out there on the aftermarket now. And in doing so, there's not really much left of the Gen 1 other than the motor and the transmission, wheels and tires right now. So last video I started this build, and as I got into the video and ran into a lot of issues where it was just a lot of custom fitment, and the videos would have been just absolutely horribly wrong or long. So what I did was I've got everything pretty much lined out except for a few things with the electronics. I got to bind up and set up the receiver and the steering servo and those kind of things. But for the most part, the truck is complete and it's done. And so I'm going to go over what I did and explanation of how I did it, so that anybody else that wants to do this build, which was a fun build because, like I said, these trucks are really old, but they're not inadequate. You can still have a lot of fun with them. You can still comp them. You can still do a lot of crawling, and there's a lot of stuff out there that's available for these trucks that will still bolt up to the Gen 1, whether it be the Honcho or the Dingo. I had the Dingo. That's what this truck is. I stretched the wheelbase out. The Dingo, I believe, is like 11.4 inch wheelbase. This is now a 12.3 wheelbase. So that's one of the changes that I made. But I'm going to go ahead and pull the body off here, and I'll explain the body mounts and everything on that as well, too. So we'll just go ahead and start off down at the bare minimum. Last video, as you know, I integrated everything off that truck's original C-channel chassis and incorporated the Rock Pirates Interceptor chassis. That bolt up kit was really accurate and easy to build as far as the chassis and how it made it up with, like, for instance, the skid plate. And on this build, as I'll show you, that's even with I used a aftermarket Chinese no-name brand aluminum skid plate for this build that is based on the SCX 10-1. And as you can see, I did it just to match the collars. I believe I brought it up in the video. But even that aftermarket Chinese skid plate matched up perfectly with Rock Pirates Interceptor chassis. So those guys have really done an immaculate job of making sure that this chassis is set up and it's accurate. The bolt holes are accurate. Everything will just switch right over to it. So, as I said, we have the Rock Pirates Interceptor chassis. And then next, I updated the drivetrain with the AR44 straight axles. And in doing so, I also, like I said earlier, I wanted to stretch the wheelbase, so I put on a set of RC Lines 12.3 high clearance links, and as you can see, that was a really good kit. I really like the ease of fitment that the RC Lines kit came with. They're all high clearance, so you gain that. Now, I didn't choose to go with the 3-link and a panhard bar in the front. I did the 4-link. I like that setup. I've had good luck with it. And so I just stuck with it. So to each his own, whatever you choose to go with. But that's what I chose to go with. Next thing I have is the Rock Pirates hardline bed. As you can see, bolts completely on. Now, one of the things that I did is there's some space in between the frame rails and the bed and everything. So I started out using the standard rear cross member. Standard rear cross member with spacers. And I really just didn't like that setup. So I was online, I was researching, and Harley Designs on his website has a free download. He did one of these builds, but it was the SCX Gen 2. But he has on his website a free file download. If you have access to a 3D printer, he did a really great job in designing, as you can see up in here, this cross member. It goes in. Like I said, it's 3D printed. Get it in the camera here in a minute. Sorry, guys. Low budget. But as you can see, it fit way better in the chassis than doing the standard SCX10 Gen 2 or Gen 1 rear cross member with spacers. And the thing about this print design is that on the back side of it, it has the hex cutouts for the nuts to automatically hold your nuts in there, so that when you assemble all this, they seat right in. You can just run the screws in and tighten it up. Also on the back, I have, you can't hardly see it, but that's what's holding the spare tire on. Is down in here is the Rock Pirates X-mount spare tire holder, frame stiffener. That's in there, as well as, well, we've got it out here. We'll go ahead and touch base with it. We have the Rock Pirates cross member kit as well, in front and rear, as well as you can see down here on the bottom side, there's one on the bottom side for rigidity of the frame as well. Those all bolted in really well. Like I said, all of this Rock Pirate stuff, the machining on it is just immaculate. And I was a machinist for 13 years. The machining on it is immaculate. It was very accurate, bolts right in. Next thing forward is I have the Rock Pirates boat style sliders for the Power Wagon body. These are the ones that are made specifically for the Power Wagon body. And I'll show you how that fits once we get to the body and I get the body on there. As far as electronics, like I said, I have and I bought this way back years ago with the truck. Was still fairly new, but there's a Hot Racing, the Hot Racing 3-gear aluminum transmission in there as well. The original axial 35 turn brush motor is still going strong in this truck, and this truck's not a shelf queen. I have beat the daylights out of this truck. If you could really see it in the video, but there's scuff marks, as you can see, all over the cab. The truck has not had an easy life. I've run it. It's not a shelf queen. But anyhow, I digress. So we'll move forward. After that, I have we have the Rock Pirates battery tray installed. Also, we have the Rock Pirates servo winch tray up front installed that's made to go with the kit. You can see here the Rock Pirates body post mounts that bolt right in. So I have those on there. And now I've had good luck with this, so I just went ahead and transferred it over. But it's the Endura. I think it's the 35K. I believe it's the 35K. The 35K Endura brushless waterproof servo with the aluminum steering horn. And then I also have, this is the center link and steering arm that came with the AR44 differential setup when I ordered them. And they are the Amazon knockoffs of the actual AR44s. And as you can see, which I cut and modified these a long time ago. And this is the actual factory tires, the actual stock factory tires from the Axial SCX10 Gen 1 Dingo, as well as the wheels. That hasn't been changed yet. In the process, that's my next step in this build, is to add a different set of wheels and tires. Give me some feedback. I'm looking at either going with the I'm looking at the G8 compound, the Proline Swampers, or the BF Goodwrench Crawlers are the two tires that I'm tossing around. I live in southern West Virginia. A lot of the rocks are sandstone, moss covered, so that's kind of the compound I'm looking at going at. As well as right now, I have on here, and this kind of a review detailed build, but I have on here a set of the Endura Mountain Desert Lizard copy shocks set up in the I have it set up for the droop. The only problem with it is this setup, if it sets on the shelf for very long, it sticks, so you have to break them loose before you take it out for a run. Other than that, they've done really well for the price. I mean, so I may upgrade. I've been looking at upgrading to the Desert Lizard 90 millimeters for the rear shocks. But as you can see, I mean, there's plenty of articulation. This kit has the articulation is plenty. Oops, sorry. There's not really. And the same thing with the front. Like I said, I went with the 4-link. I didn't go with the 3-link, but the front, the droop setup, I mean, you guys, there's plenty of articulation in that setup. So, you know, this is just a short video overview of where the build is at so far. So now the next thing I did was I did the same thing that a lot of the guys with the Rock Pirates crew, Logan with West Desert Wheeler, they put these pegs on the bed for your body mounts for the rear of the cab. Excuse me, sorry about that. Sinuses here in sinuses from all the pollen here in West Virginia right now. It's horrible. So anyhow, I'm running the Power Wagon body. This actually was one of the full bodies had to bed. I'd done away with all that, modified everything myself to go on here. But I utilize this cab mount now, and it really works great. The body just slides back on there, and you know, you just keep a little bit of tension on your front body posts, put your pins in, that way your body doesn't rattle around and the fit is good. And so but as you can see with the sliders, how well this body fits inside of those sliders, leaving nothing out there to catch on the rocks. So those, like I said, I did this because when I started looking at things, and I was like, yeah, I really don't want to just toss this truck to the side. I mean, I could really, there's no reason this truck can't still be out there on the rocks and running with all the newer rigs. And so, yeah, everybody might say, well, it's not an SCX10 Gen 1 anymore because everything's been changed. You're right, it has. But it's still on that platform. It still works. The 10 2s, the 10 1s, you know, they're still great trucks. But I wanted to put this video out there because when I started researching to do this build, there really wasn't anything out there for it. There wasn't anything like this. Logan from West Desert Wheelers, he had a quick overview of his build like this, as well as Harley from Harley Designs. He went over a quick overview of his build, but that was all. Some of the things you have to consider with this truck when you do this is, if you run the panhard and the 3-link, you have a panhard mount that goes up on the chassis here, and it mounts to the outside, and you have to make sure that your servo horn down here, you have to make sure that this servo horn clears the panhard mount, and there's not very much room for that. They did a real good job engineering it. I mean, you have to space up your servo. You have to space up your servo to get that depth right to clear that panhard mount. If you run the 3-link with the panhard bar in the front, I chose not to, but that's what you have to do. Also, with doing this kit, this being the first flat rail kit that I didn't realize that, some of this stuff, you have to pinch those rails together, which is what gives it part of its rigidity, as far as the chassis, as well as the braces and stuff. So that was a little new for me. I had to learn. And then, like I said, I didn't put everybody through the whole build because I did a lot of trial and error, stretch, fit, to try to decide which wheelbase I wanted to go with, how to get that wheelbase, what kits and links. I went through several different links and kits to get the chassis set up that I wanted. So I didn't drag all that out in the video, because honestly, I don't think people wanted to hear it. I wouldn't have. I just wanted an overview of what the builds were. And so this is what it turned out like. This is the truck. Now, I'm blessed with a lot of terrain here to trial this truck on, as far as the rocks. And like I said, I'm going to change out the wheels and tires. Then I've got to look at, I'm going to look at adding some brass weight to the front. I still need to do that. It still has the factory knuckles, C-knuckles, and all of that stuff up front, as well as the diff covers. So I'm going to get some brass weight to add up front to get that forward weight bias. But right now, this is where the truck sits. This is where we're at. So it will be wheels and tires next, then brass weights up front. Then most likely the Desert Lizard, looking at probably 90 millimeter shocks, honestly, is the route that I'm looking at going right now. Any feedback on that would be well taken as well. So anyhow, guys, I just wanted to touch base with you. I know it's been a while since I'd put a video out. I'm just getting the channel started. It is really, really small. I'm trying to grow this. So like and subscribe, hype, all that stuff. I put this stuff out as I can. I do work a full-time job. And so that ties up a lot of my time right now until I retire in a couple years. But this is where I'm at. So hope you enjoy. Any feedback as far as what you would like to see next, shoot me a comment. I appreciate everything positive. Until then, get out, enjoy the rocks, enjoy the nature, and enjoy life.